Go ahead.
All right, welcome everyone to our business series today. Today we're going to talk about leading small businesses through, the uncertain times, and we can adapt this to any of our businesses. And today we have Lance Wilson with us. Lance, tell us a little bit about your business, kind of how you started your business, and maybe how many employees are working for you, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, thanks, Jesse. So my name is Lance Wilson, and I am a State Farm agent here in Spanish Fork. State Farm, obviously, for those that may not know, is a P&C insurance company, as well as life and other products. But we're the largest auto insurer in North America, as well as the largest home insurer in North America. And my agency is a franchise. So I am an independent business owner with an agreement or a contract to sell State Farm's products exclusively for them. I've been an agent for 19 years. I started my agency 19 years ago, actually in the Provo-Orem area. And then I've been here in Spanish Fork since 2010. So in 19 years, I've seen a few different things, had different challenges, and obviously a lot of positive, wonderful experiences that I'm very grateful for. As far as my agency today, as the owner operator, I have, in addition to myself, 3 other licensed sales agents that work with me. And so I am a small business, don't have a lot of employees, but I think we do a pretty good job of taking care of our existing customers and their needs that they have as far as managing their risks and helping them to recover from the unexpected. But then also we try our best to make sure that we're competitive and we're offering competitive products to potential customers that may come to us for insurance and financial needs that they have. So I'm a risk manager.
There you go.
But that's a little bit about my business, and how long I've been. Go ahead.
Oh, you're okay. Lance, so with having a small business like that, you have to have a pretty good interpersonal relationship with those that you work with, right? To keep a good business acumen and also just relationships there. How do you do that? Like, how do you connect with those employees that you work with?
That's a great question. And it's not always as easy as you might think, because you have different personalities and we have different, we're at different stages in our career, and everybody's kind of, maybe wants different things out of their employment experience. I try really hard, Jesse. First of all, I am not perfect at that. I wish I were. I'm not the greatest boss, unlike Michael Scott. I don't have a mug on my desk. But one thing I've always really felt was important was trying to be flexible with my employees and give them the flexibility that they need to succeed and also to be satisfied in where they work. So what I mean by flexibility is that I try and give them the time off that they request or that they might need. I try and be flexible with when they might, want to come to the office or when they might need to leave the office. Obviously, that can be a challenge in making sure that we're taking care of our customers. But we as long as those needs are being met, I'm okay with if somebody has a medical issue that takes them away from the office, or if somebody needs to leave early for, a family matter or whatnot. So I've always tried really hard to be flexible with my employees. That's one thing that I hope has created a positive environment in my office. Maybe to go to a different area. When I was new, Jesse, when I was brand new, I was all about numbers. I had to hit certain goals. I had to hit certain benchmarks, and it was all about hitting those numbers. And really, that pressure that I put on myself as well as my employees, I think drove away some of my employees, that they just weren't cut out for a high intense pressured sales job. After gaining, several years in my business, I've felt more comfortable backing off from that high pressure sales environment. And that has I certainly have high expectations for my employees. And if they're not hitting the numbers that they need to hit, not only are they not being compensated, but they're not gonna meet my expectations. But I've certainly been able to, I feel more comfortable backing off the pressured sales and hitting the numbers. And that's allowed my employees to feel a little, I guess I would say they don't feel like they're being micromanaged. They don't feel like there's as much of that intense pressure every day. They can come to the office and be excited about the day and not dreading, oh man, am I going to get my numbers today? So there's a fine balance in any business in meeting productivity and meeting, numbers, but also making it a positive work environment.
Gotcha. So 2020 was a difficult year, to say the least, for a lot of businesses. How did you adapt your leadership during that time? Did you have to make many changes? Did you have to walk me through some of that? Like, what did you have to do to help them to stay confident in you as their boss and leader?
Okay. First of all, I was very clear in letting everybody know here in my office that if they didn't feel comfortable because of COVID-19, infection possibilities, if they didn't feel comfortable coming to work, that they had the option of not coming to work, and we could make other arrangements, that they work from home, work remotely, things like that. So I talked to them about that and said, I don't want anybody to feel like they are putting themselves at risk. But then I also said, we are going to, and we have to make sure that we are available to our customers. That is paramount. I'm not going to close my office. I'm not going to shutter the door, say, sorry, we're not available, because I'm in a business where we have to be available to the customers in their time of need, when they have that car accident or that house fire or that flood. So we did keep my office open almost all of the time during the pandemic. There was a period of maybe a week to 2 weeks where we locked our office doors, and we had a mail drop system where people could just drop papers or they could slide them under the door, kind of a thing. And we were here, we'd communicate with them by phone. But we had to be available to our customers. And I think that was a big deal for a lot of people. They wanted to see that we were still here, that the doors were, well, maybe not open. They could have been locked for a week or two, but the lights were on, they're working. But then as far as the four of us here in my office, yeah, we were, sanitizing. We were keeping social distancing, requirements were being met, wearing masks as best we could. Yeah, we were disinfecting a lot, it seemed like, in those first few months of the pandemic. But we were here. The lights were on, and I even felt like, if it gets bad enough, I'll send all my employees home and I'll just come and quarantine in the office, and I'll handle the calls and take care of people. And during that time, I did have one employee who chose to work from home for a couple of weeks, or maybe even closer to a month, and just did remote work. But everybody else was here, and we were just, quarantining ourselves in the office. But Jesse, I think it was important for the community and my customer base to see that we were here, to see that they still knew that if there was a disaster or some type of an event in their life where they needed my assistance, that they could still drive down here, pull up and come in and talk to us, or call us on the phone, and that we were going to be available.
And how do you feel like, so as you move forward, as hopefully the pandemic is, it's something that we're living with and we're living through right now, right? But we continue to look for the future. How do you feel like that is adapted the way that you'll lead in the future?
Let me think about that question. As far as how I handle my office and my employees, the flexibility is still there. The ability to let them know that, hey, your safety is paramount is still there. They know that that's important to me, that they're safe, that they feel comfortable coming to work. As far as going forward, I still have the expectation that we're here for our customers, and that there's, in this world of COVID-19, or even if you want to call this post COVID-19 or present COVID-19,
Right.
we still take care of customers. We don't have to shutter our office. We don't have to live in a bubble. I just don't believe that. We can still adapt and provide service and be relevant in our industries, whatever that industry may be. And to just kind of take the attitude that, well, I'm just going to throw my hands up and, go hide in a cave until this is all over is just not thinking rationally. So number one, making sure that my employees feel safe, making sure that the office is still an environment, clean and sterile and protected. And then number two, I would say going forward, having in place maybe a list or a list of priorities that this is most important, making sure that we are still visible to our customers in the community, making sure that our storefront is still accessible to our clientele, whether that's, and if storefront's not available, social media, making sure that they can communicate it with us through social media or through email, and obviously phone calls and things like that. And some of those can be accomplished by employees, maybe just not at the office, maybe at home. Maybe they would have to take calls from home. Maybe they would need to manage social media accounts from home online, but kind of identifying that for me, number one is storefront is visible, social media is available, phone calls and emails are available to customers.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, and you can correct me if I'm out of line of what I'm, maybe the surmise is, first thing is having a list of core values for yourself and for your business. But then second, and maybe most importantly, is your employees knowing that you care for them, that you want what's best for them, even if that is adapting to whatever's changing in the world, whether that's the pandemic, whether that's the economic crisis of 2008, whatever the future has to hold, is helping your employees know that at the end of the day, you care for them as a person. I don't know if I'm hearing that wrong, or is that kind of what you're saying there?
No, that's my core value. Number one is making sure that my employees feel comfortable and safe, and that I care about them, and that I can be flexible with them when they need help, assistance. That's definitely core value number one, and hopefully that not only is apparent to them, but also I hope that's apparent to my customers as well. So I hope my employees see that, but I hope the customers see that as well, that, hey, Lance Wilson's a good employer. He takes care of his people, and we enjoy working with his people, and that's why we keep doing business here.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Lance, and thanks for sharing, a little bit about what's been going on with you and how you've led through this. And thank you, everyone who's attended today. And please tune into our other business series that'll be coming, every other Wednesday at noon. So thank you, everyone.